And welcome back to Real Geek Media. I'm Hayden Cole. He is author Christopher Michael Blake, and today we are reviewing Indiana Jones. This is Raiders of the Lost Ark. It is the 45th year anniversary for Raiders of the Lost Ark this year. If you could believe that, if that doesn't make you feel old. Uh, yeah, that was unintentional, but feeling a little bit saying 45th anniversary. But before we get into the review, Christopher, what's new in your world?
I hate snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
It's a solid question. I don't think a lot of people like snakes.
I could deal with the snake. I think spiders would have been.
Oh man, yeah.
I watched this movie with my daughter, and she only yelled that during one part, and that's when the spiders were crawling up his back in the beginning.
Oh God, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we want to get right into this.
I never realized that was Alfred Molina
Yes.
in the beginning. That's how young he looked back then. That
Yes.
boggles my mind a little bit. It's like
It's funny. Like back then, he was just, I guess, not obviously not a big name actor as he is now, but yeah, Alfred Molina. That was interesting to see. And just really quick side note about Alfred Molina. The other nights I was just watching some clips from movies, and there was the Boogie Nights clip where the awesome mix #6. I don't know if you remember Boogie Nights too much.
I remember the prosthetic penis. Yeah.
Oh, we're not talking about that part. This is the part where they go into the house with the drug deal, and
I thought it was the Heather Graham with the roller girl with her skates up in the back of the limo with Burt Reynolds looking on.
With Thomas Jane, where he's like trying to rob the guy. Yeah, he's in it.
I forgot that. I mean, like I watched that movie twice, maybe in my life. And
yeah, good movie.
That was more than enough. I didn't feel the need to.
But anyway, yeah, he's in that, and he has a very small but very, very good part in that little, the little 10-minute scene that he's in. Anyhow, we digress. Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, I'd be hard pressed to find somebody who has not seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is, in my opinion, the quintessential adventure movie. I can't think of another one, that tops this. This thing is start to finish is just a tremendous film, and it is, my opinion, is the best of the Indiana Jones series. It's just it's such a complete film, and just the way we're introduced to him right off the bat. Okay, we're in the jungles, we're trekking somewhere, we got a map, we got some guys with us, and the action just we're right into it. And this is like 1981, right? We're kids when this has come out, and this just fuels your imagination, like this adventure. And they're going into like a cave, and inside the cave there's traps and there's things to contend with. And once you get past all that, there's still more traps, and they do the little sand and the idol thing. And man, like this thing it grabs you right from the start, and it immediately tells you, you get the sense of who this character is, right? He's a professional at this. He's not really scared, from this stuff. Like he just, he's very capable adventurer, and then we find out, okay, he's a teacher.
I think this is one of the best opening sequences for any movie ever put together. Maybe 28 weeks later, this opening sequence is a tad bit better with the emotional pull, but I'd be hard pressed to find another opening sequence for a movie that draws you in as quickly as this one does.
Yeah.
Let's face it, that boulder scene is iconic. Right? The Muppets did it, and you go to Disneyland, and
they still do it.
Well, I think they stopped after the guy got run over by the boulder. Yeah.
But again, yes, visually, that is just an iconic moment. you know, the boulder rolling down, running from it. And even then, you know, we're immediately introduced to the villain
Belloc.
in this scene as well. You know,
Yeah.
Belloc, and we learn Indiana Jones has a fear of snakes. You know, right off the bat, we're
He's not outrunning a bunch of tribes, guys. Come on, he's not doing that. I mean, he's just not. But that's another story. But no, it's a very exciting opening sequence, and I think it's more interesting when they start to go into the next segment of the movie where the government officials show up and they're like, well, we got all these questions. Is this guy working with the Nazis? We received this telegram. We're trying to decipher it. And, you know, what is it, Tanaris that they're looking at? Or Tanis.
Tanis, yes.
What is Tanis? And Indiana Jones goes into this whole history lesson of the Ark and the Ark of the Covenant and how they had the staff. And he breaks everything down for you.
Yeah.
But you have to be paying attention. If you're not paying attention.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of information in there. And
big info dump. It's an info dump. It's boom. We're gonna hit you with the info dump right now.
And as this whole exposition is happening, you know, Indiana Jones is relaying the information. You know, as you know, this is what I know. This is everything, and you know, it's stories, it's myth, it's you know, it's in these books, but you know. As it's even, I guess, even how it's shot by Spielberg is like sit around for story time and, you know, let them kind of fill your head with this information. And you're just kind of like, oh, okay. All right. This is interesting. And, you know, you kind of get a sense for like, you know, okay, these are the stakes, you know, this is the seriousness, you know, we're dealing with the Nazis. We're dealing with, you know, the supernatural, the biblical, you know, we're dealing with all these things. And it is a really good scene. Like the scene where they're just all together with the books open and the maps and everything. Yeah, you really get a sense for the stakes, and you're starting to meet Brody is in this scene, right? His friend Brody, Marcus Brody, played by Denham Elliott. And you know, he becomes a great like sidekick character throughout the saga, throughout the series. You know, he turns more into slapstick comedy towards the third movie, but you know, these are people that trust Indiana Jones, and you know, again, you see, just he is the expert, right? He knows these things, and he's capable. You know, he acquires items, he sells them. You know, he gives it to Marcus to put in the museum because that's more important that these items are in a museum. Belongs in a museum. You know, what do you, how do you feel about like the stage being set at this point for the upcoming adventure?
I can only tell you that growing up, it was this and Star Wars. I could recite line for line when I was 5 or 6 years old. So
yeah.
86, 85,
yeah,
you know, 84. I was reciting this movie because it was either this or Star Wars that I was always watching. Both Harrison Ford movies, cooler than the real life. I mean, who could be cooler than Harrison Ford at this point in their career? For you know, a 5 or 6, 7, 8-year-old kid.
Top of the world, man. Like,
you know,
he was the guy. Han Solo, what a cool character. Indiana Jones, he's cooler than Han Solo, right? Like it's
almost. You
know,
he didn't hang out with the giant Wookiee unless you count Mary.
Yeah,
just a little hairy, very manly, you know. Because when they introduce her, she's drinking this Russian or this
man,
the Tibetan guy under the table. It's like, really,
and,
you know.
But this is like rolling into this scene now,
right?
We're meeting Marion, but we get the iconic map and the arrow or the red line with the plane, and this is a staple through the entire series. And it's what it does is it gives you the idea. Okay, they're going all the way here, and this is where the adventure is. We're spanning the globe. We are, you know, at the school, and now we're in Tibet, and you know, we're looking for Marion Ravenwood, and we meet her playing the drinking game. And she can hold her liquor very well. As he's drinking like grown men under the table,
Right.
who outweigh her by probably hundreds of pounds.
Yes.
And Indiana Jones comes strolling through, asking about her father's diary, or the head
The amulet.
the amulet, yeah. And we learned they had a relationship, and Indiana Jones worked with her dad, and there's a whole kind of I haven't seen you, and you left.
Hurt her real good. Hurt her real good.
Hurt her real good. And he leaves. She's cleaning up, and here come the thugs into the building.
5 guys with machine guns, and Harrison's only got a 6-shooter, which he has to reload at one point, and nobody bothers to charge this guy. They're just getting here. Of course, yeah. So this is like every classic movie. It's like, I don't know if you've ever played paintball before, how easy it is to get hit when you're getting shot at. But let me tell you, these bullets are just, I'm just like, wow, okay. They see him reloading at this point, and they're like, oh, I'm going to stay behind here and just, no, But a brilliant piece of film and script writing does happen here, is when the head Nazi reaches for the amulet, and it's been heated at this point. It ends up on his hand, imprinted on his hand, burned into his hand. And you wonder how they got the headstone and figured out how high to set the staff, because it was translated from his hand, which is brilliant. It's like, wow, okay, that's really ingenious way of doing it. Yeah, sure.
And we'd be remiss at this point to mention that George Lucas came up with the idea for this, right? Indiana Jones was his idea, his concept. He brought it to Lucas, and the story was essentially something, Spielberg was interested in maybe pursuing Bond films. And Lucas said to him, I got something better. Okay. And away we go. Away we go.
Now, talking about the amulet, because we had to dive into this. Spielberg kind of decided to cut a piece of vital information out at this point in the movie, because when he gets to Egypt, he meets what's his name, Allah, whatever.
Salah, his friend Salah.
Yeah, Salah. Right. Thank you.
He meets Allah.
Yeah, right. Well, you understand. Yeah, it's the same thing. Right. At the same time, they go to meet the head guy who's going to decipher this ancient script that's on here. And they cut out the fact that you're not supposed to look at this thing from the script. I don't know why they decided, hey, we can't actually put that in there. It's too much foreshadowing. Whatever it was, you're supposed to just believe that Indiana Jones knows at the end not to look at this thing. The Ark being opened up and everything. Mm-hmm. But the guy actually tells them that you're not supposed to look at this stuff. And they cut that from the movie when it was printed. I don't know if you're aware of that or not.
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, that's one of the...
That's interesting.
Well, I don't know if it's interesting. It's kind of a vital piece of information because it ties everything together later. That one sentence, it's like, yeah, we're not just going to leave that part out. We'll let them interpret that for themselves. And, we'll talk about the end later, but, because I think there's a definite pivot in this movie where it starts to become a little like, well, I don't know about that. But we'll get to that. So they're in Egypt. They're looking around, and you got this great basket scene, right?
Yes.
Where, Marion's hiding in the baskets, and the monkey's pointing at her. She's in this one. She's in this one. And
yes.
Indy's going through the market looking for everybody. And he runs into the samurai swordman, and he pulls his gun out and just shoots him. Right? Do you know how that sequence even came about?
I am aware, but you tell it.
He was sick that day, Harrison Ford. He couldn't physically do the necessary action to put forth that was called for in the script. He said, why not just pull the gun out and just shoot him instead? It worked. So, and it is a pretty cool scene. So it did work. So that's just my 2 cents. That did work.
So I'm just gonna. We got one interesting comment here in the chat. I'm just going to highlight it just for a second before we move on.
Now, I'm going to say this for Tim Mantuano 3036. That's not an original idea. He stole that from the Big Bang Theory. So at least could at least credited the Big Bang Theory and put that in there, because that was Amy who said that at the end of that episode. So he gets no credit for that statement.
There you go. The truth.
Yeah, hashtag truth. Yes.
The truth is out.
I'm a Big Bang Theory nerd, so I know that. Yeah.
Can't sneak that one by. One by.
We're too good here still.
However, an interesting point, but we move on.
Well, we can talk about that at the end. We can get to that at the end. We can touch on that.
So
we're still in the middle here.
Yeah. So we have the swordsman, we have the basket chase for Marion. And again, these are great set pieces, right? All throughout this film. Each bit of action is just like a really well done set piece, well written, just well choreographed. You know, there's so many in this film, and it just keeps you as the viewer. It's like, oh man, like, oh, okay, more action, you know, and it's all meaningful, you know. And at this point, we're led to believe that Marion dies in the truck. The truck explodes. Indy sees it, and you know he's off drinking, you know, because it's hitting him hard. And
then you got the poison date.
Right.
And his friend Salah saves him because the monkey eats the date. And
yes. And Salah is another character that spans across the series, and you know, part of you know, Indy's little gallery of companions, and just really well acted by John Rhys Davies,
who's a phenomenal actor. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
He does in more than just Indiana Jones movies.
Yes.
He's phenomenal.
Yes. And you know, he's Gimli in Lord of the Rings, and he's just a good actor, and it's a solid character, and it's like you really grow to like all his companions. You know, at least for most of the films, his companions are well written, and
we could have done without Spike.
Honestly, that movie,
I pretend it doesn't exist.
It's so much better than the fifth one, though. So you know,
I disagree. I
think like the fifth one, you know, Indiana Jones and the Chronic Hip Pain, is just not a good film at all. But
I can't argue with the aliens. You know, I'm a big believer, but at the same time, you know, they both had their flaws. Neither one of them are as good as 1 and 3.
Oh no, not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, I know you feel that too. I know how you feel that too. So
I love to.
Able to. Yeah,
I love to.
I know.
But that's all right. Here we go. We are now the dates, and Salah saving the day. Bad dates, catches it out of the air.
Yes, that was a good joke. Yes, yeah.
And you know, Indiana Jones is now back on the hunt. He acquires the amulet because, you know, through Marion, right? So they now have to locate the Well of the Souls, right?
Right.
And they determine that, oh, there's markings on both sides of this amulet, whereas the Nazis only have the palm print, which is only one side of the amulet. So they're in the wrong spot.
Yes.
They're digging in the wrong place, to which Salah gets so happy and starts dancing around. Now, Indiana Jones, we get the classic, you know, seeing him in the silhouette in the sunrise,
which is beautifully shot.
Oh man, it really is. Yeah.
I mean, I almost picture playing with G.I. Joes in that little town like they built.
Right.
Like, and the fact that it looks so pristine still after thousands of years buried in the sand, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
Yeah. And, you know, he sets the staff. It tells them where to go to, you know, to dig. They dig. And here come the Nazis. They, I guess, are seeing that there's some activity going on in this other section. You know, they go run in and check it out, and Indiana Jones is now trapped.
I think you forgot one vital piece.
Oh, Marion.
And the fact that he leaves her in the tent and says, you know
Yes.
what? I can't afford to free you right now because I got to go get the Ark. The man is not a simp. Look, you know me.
He knows the stakes.
I'll call a simp a simp. And he is not a simp. He's like, he's all business at this point. He's like,
he knows the stakes.
You're pretty good. But you know what's even better? I got to go get this treasure. You wait here.
He knows the stakes. He knows the stakes.
Yeah.
And that trumps whatever feelings he may have for her. But now they're stuck down in the pyramid at the bottom together. The Nazis
have the Ark.
They have it. They've sealed it off. The Ark is now with them. Indy and Marion are trapped. And what are we going to do? They concoct a plan. They knock over the standing statues, these gigantic statues, and it pops a hole in the side, enough for them to escape. And this leads to yet another action set piece. That one after the other. We have the fight at the airport.
Now, that guy who's fighting Indy in that airport, he was in all three of the first movies, right?
Yes.
As one of the bad guys. He was the guy with the sword running around chasing in part 2. And
yeah, he was the guy that gets sucked into the gravel crusher. Yeah.
And then who was he in part 3? I forget.
I'm not sure. He might have been one of the Nazi agents chasing him around somewhere.
Yeah.
But he was in 3.
Yes.
Yeah, and I believe that guy's a stuntman.
Right.
But he's just he fits so well in it, and he could just be anybody, right? Like, he's a big guy, and there's always like that big guy that Indy has to fight at some point.
And he does the job well. You can't take it away from him.
Yeah. And that's another scene where you have the plane kind of just spinning, the propellers going, they're fist fighting around all this. So the threat of the propellers is right there in the back, right in the background as they're fighting. Here comes the propeller swinging by. They duck, they dodge. I mean, it's like
Marion's trapped in the cockpit.
Yes, she's trapped in the cockpit. She can't get out. The
flames are coming because
the gasoline spills. The flames are coming. I mean, the whole thing is like just race against time. I got to take out this guy, then I got to save her before the plane blows up. It's just beautifully shot. It's such a and it may be just like they fight, right? Like they fight. It might say in the script, right? But they concocted this big set piece just for that, right? And that's really, a testament to Spielberg taking whatever was in the script and making that set piece.
Right.
But that's not it. After that, we end up into the horse chasing, the truck.
Yes.
With the Ark. And this is an even better set piece. Indy riding the stallion, chasing down the truck, dismounts onto the truck, crawling around on the roof, fighting all these Nazis. Yep. And it's like,
it's unbelievable, but it works. Yeah. This one works. I got no problem with this scene whatsoever. It's kind of everything that happens once they get to the boat and after. Where I find the movie, it's like, really, this is what we're doing?
Yeah. I mean, this scene and the score by John Williams with the Indiana Jones theme it's so iconic. Just him riding that horse, just fighting the Nazis on the truck, and it, once he overtakes the final Nazi of the truck, and they have that fight in the cab,
right?
And he throws him out the front, and the guy's pulling, and the bars bend, and he just gets run over. And then it turns into Indy has the upper hand now, right? So he's ramming cars, they go flying, and Nazis everywhere, and it's just such a brilliant action piece. And And with the score, it's just so well done and
Yeah.
so iconic and so classic that this it is just, like I said, it just adds to everything else that came before it as just the best adventure film. Like it really is for me. And now I will agree with you. I think it takes a step back when they get to the boat.
So let's get to the boat. The Nazis catch up to them with the submarine. They take over the pirate vessel. Indy falls asleep before he even has fun. And they can't find Indy on the boat because he swims over to the sub. And this is one of the problems. It's like, because I guess in the script, there was a scene where he lassos the top of the sub and is able to hang on with the whip. And they thought that might be even more unbelievable. We'll just make you believe that he held on. And I was always just kind of like, why not just write in that he, because later on the next scene, he's in the base, he's having to steal clothes and they're too small.
Yeah.
Why not just have him steal an officer's clothes on the ship and sneak his way aboard the sub? That would have been much more coherent, I think. Mm-hmm. And then you could have Wright go up to shoulder and Belloc right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how I would have done it, but
I've always felt like the scene where he swims to the sub, everybody on the vessel. Oh, there he is. I found him. And they all start cheering, and Indy's standing on the top little catwalk on the sub. And I'm like, it rode the whole rest of the way without submerging? I guess we're led to believe, but I was always like, as a kid, I was like, I don't know. Like, did he hold his breath?
like I said, that's one of those scenes. Yeah. But if you find that hard to believe, wait till you see what happens next.
Yeah. So, the ending of this film has never been its strongest part of the movie. It just isn't. There's so many things that have come before it that were so good.
He announces his presence by holding up the missile launcher at the Ark and says, "I'm going to blow it up if you don't let her go." And then he just kind of like, "Yeah, I'll just give myself up," which he had to kind of know was going to come.
Right.
And how does he know that they're not just going to take him and execute him right there and then? There's no guarantee.
Sure.
I mean, he's caused all these headaches and all these problems so far. It's kind of like, we'll keep him around for a little bit. We'll keep him around for a little bit. Which leads us to the climactic scene, Ghosts in the Ark.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Now, terrifying film. And it's, in a sense, it's like, this is like where first time we're seeing like some supernatural elements in this series. It's the very end of this movie. And, we see it initially. They come out and they're beautiful, they're flying around. And Belloc is like, wow, just mystified. Then they turn into just a nightmare, just an absolute nightmare, flying around. And, the scene where they face melt the main bad guys, like as a kid, you were probably like, oh my God.
There's only one scene that's more terrifying than that to watch when you're a kid. I'm going to give it to you. You ready?
Go.
Poltergeist, where the guy starts tearing his face off.
Mm-hmm.
That's a PG movie when you're a kid and you're like,
yeah.
The guy just in the mirror is just start taking his face off. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
But I mean, both are really great scenes. Their faces are melting. The eyes are popping out of their heads.
Oh my God. It's disgusting. And, evil is now punished. The lightning goes through all the other Nazis that are there. And to your point, Indiana Jones says, don't look at it, Marion. And they escape death because their eyes are shut the whole time.
Now, online theories say, well, as a professor, he knew not to look. That was the excuse given as to why they could cut that scene with the shaman telling them what the interpretation meant on the back of the amulet. However, you would tend to believe that Belloc would have known that, being just as a formidable archaeologist as Indiana Jones was.
Correct.
So he would have known not to look as well. But instead, he dresses up like the King of Prussia and is like, oh, look at me.
Yeah.
My hat's bigger than yours. My hat's
He went
bigger.
for the big uniform or outfit change for the finale of this thing.
Despite the ending of this movie, it is still one of my favorites from the series. This one and 3 for me. I might actually put 3 up just a little bit ahead of this one because of the ending and the comedy in 3. I think is a lot smoother. You said it's a lot more slapstick, and it is.
This one, it doesn't have a lot of comedy elements in it.
No.
Sala is really the only comedic character, and that's just a small section in the middle. There really isn't much.
You got the student with the "I love you."
Yeah.
Crossing her legs,
But what we do see at the very end of this film is the Ark going into the warehouse.
Yes.
And it's just the massive warehouse, and it just triggers your mind to imagine, where is this? What are all these things in there with it? And it's like, oh my God, like this warehouse is huge, and this is just one crate going off into this gigantic warehouse. So it's a cool way to end the film there with that little beat.
Just because they brought it back up in 4. I was disappointed to see that. I was like, really? You brought this back up in 4? I wish they hadn't done that. But
yeah.
Then he hops in the refrigerator, and oh boy, my head hurt after watching that. Like, really? We're done.
But here we have it. Indiana Jones saga was born, and I mean, listen, like I said, you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who has not seen this film at this juncture. It's so good. It is, for me, it's the best of this Indiana Jones movies. It lays the foundation, and I don't think any of the set pieces just can top everything that happened in this movie. Yes, there's really good set pieces all along the way in the rest of the films, but this one ties them all together so well that you're on the edge of your seat and you're just like, wow, we just went on a ride from start to finish on this movie.
Like I said, the best opening sequence of any movie, probably other than 28 Weeks Later, in my opinion, which after the first opening 5 minutes of that movie, I wouldn't watch any more of it. No, I'm serious. It's just a shame, but it's the truth. It becomes very mediocre after that movie. But this one here carries you through. I mean, you wanted to have a whip in the hat growing up.
Yes.
You wanted the hat.
Yes. Halloween, you'd wear the khaki pants, get a leather jacket.
Yes.
Put on a hat.
Gloves. Absolutely.
And you'd use like a jump rope. It says the whip, man.
I can see you whipping your brother, man. I can see it now.
he was always like, he was always the Han Solo. I was like always the Luke Skywalker. That was kind of our dynamic.
I was always the Mark Singer from V.
Okay.
Run around, not getting shot. Run around, not getting shot. All the visitors are shooting at him, and he's like Neo in the Matrix. All the laser blasters going right by him. It's like, hit all my friends. Don't hit me. It's okay. Yeah. I gotta go play Beastmaster after this. Yeah.
Oh man, yes. Let's go. Beastmaster. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Boy. Oh, yeah. The 80s were great. Lots of drugs. Lots of drugs. No green screens, just lots of drugs. Final thoughts, Hayden.
It's classic. Absolute classic. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a classic film. It's the quintessential adventure movie.
Nothing cooler than Indiana Jones, and this is before all the macho women stuff that they put out today. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. And nowadays, it's not cool unless you have a protagonist who's female running around saving everybody. So I hate to say it, but it's the truth.
No, that's been the trend, and in Hollywood with some of the films that are coming out. I think there's you really feel the void of having like an action hero like Indiana Jones. You just don't have it. I mean, what are the everything is like a sequel or a spin-off. And when Indiana Jones came out, it was, like I said, it was Lucas's counter to like a 007 series. And, it was just tremendous, full of adventure, full of action, full of, lively characters. What is the next thing we have? I mean, we get like series like John Wick, which is great action, but that's an action shoot 'em up movie. There's not a lot there.
I can tell you this: if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth the watch. I gave you the books at one point. The Jack Reacher show, the TV show, is phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, I can't get enough of it when I do watch it. The TV show, The Jackal, has been pretty good. I was just watching For Your Eyes Only. I can't believe how badly that aged.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at this movie now and I'm like, oh, this is just so unbelievable. How did I believe this was ever a good movie at one point? But I mean, that's probably Bond at his most, Roger Moore at his most, revenge. He's kicking cars off cliffs and, he's shooting up warehouses and blowing people up. And, that's what he was just doing back then. But, other than sleeping with a bunch of chicks. But, yeah, definitely good movie. If you had not seen Indiana Jones, I know we spoiled a lot tonight, but if you haven't seen it in 45 years, that's your fault, not ours. So that's all I can say.
Fair point.
Hayden, here we go. The box office results are in. Dun, 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 dun. One of those movies we talked about just now was Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
Hayden, I said 32 million. You said 50 million. Surpassed all expectations.
Wow.
$80.5 million. You took number one.
That's a big opening weekend.
Oh, well. It was for some people, not for others. Here we go. Ready or Not 2. Here I come. I said 16 million. I know a lot of people went to go see it opening weekend too, so I was like surprised when I heard this number. You said 12 million. Actual retail number was 9.1.
Wow.
You go 2 for 2.
Wow.
So here we go. Hoppers, the cartoon. You said 55. I said 42. Actual retail number was 46. I took 1 out of 3 here. Can I tie this thing up and go into overtime?
Oh, let's see.
We had the horror movie Undertone, where people listen to the Real Geek Media podcast and then commit horrible acts. Here we go. I said 11 million. You said 8. And I was actually surprised at the number this day because it wasn't a terrible number for a movie that really kind of flew under the radar. 9.3.
Oh, wow.
So you took 3 out of 4. Hayden, congratulations. You hang on to the belt for another 2 weeks.
All right.
As a result, you get to, I should say at this point, our next movie will be previewing is Office Space in 2 weeks. Office Space. So if you hate your job and
listen, I think anybody can relate to this movie one way or another. Like there is something for everybody who's worked in an office environment or an environment that you're just like, this is stupid. Like there is somebody somewhere can find something to relate. It's such a fun film.
I think it gets worse now that you have AI stealing everybody's job. That's another story. So Hayden, I got 4 movies here, but
okay.
There's a possibility not all 4 will be out by the time we go to our next screening.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. I'll give you the dates that these movies are released as I list them off. And as always, you get the option to go first in terms of whether you want to defer, give me the number, or you want to go first. First movie up is Super Mario Galaxy. The sequel to this surprise hit, Super Mario Bros. I guess it wasn't surprised that they knew it was going to do well.
Super Mario Galaxy.
What did the first one do, Hayden? Because I know you're looking it up on me.
Let me see. First
you get
one.
the crib notes for the cheap for the. You got the crib notes here.
Super Mario Brothers movie 2023 did 1.361 billion total box office.
And what did it make the opening weekend though?
Opening weekend. Let's see. Opening weekend. Anywhere. Box office. Hmm. Mhm. It was projected to gross roughly 125 million opening weekend. Without me finding the actual figure, that's a ballpark. So that was a pretty massive opening weekend. I don't know, man. I don't think they ever live up to the second one, or the second one may not live up to the first one as far
I
as
know my daughter is not excited to see this for whatever reason. I asked her, "Do you want to go see it?" And she kind of gave me the
yeah, man. Like,
And I took her to go see Project Hail Mary, and she loved Rocky. She's a Rocky fan. When
all right,
Rocky got hurt, she was like, "No!" I'm like, "You
yeah.
can't be yelling in the theater. You got to, you know." Yeah.
I'll go first. I'm gonna go. So Project Hail Mary did 80.
Yes.
See, that's tricky. Okay, I'll go 65.
Oh, all right.
Though I will say, I do agree with you. I was excited for the first one. This one, I'm very lukewarm on. I don't know.
I think that it could get helped out to the fact that it is a holiday weekend. That Friday number daytime
True.
could be
That's true.
higher.
That's true.
I think you gave me a layup here, and I have to take it, Hayden. I gotta go 75. You're saying 125 for the first one. Opening weekend is what they projected. I even if this kind of comes in around 69, that's like a split almost. You would take it at that point, but anything over 70, I mean, I think I'm in the Goldilocks zone at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, here we go. Second movie up. It's a horror.
Okay.
It hasn't been getting a lot of press, but I think it's the reason it's even getting a that's all, folks. Notoriety is because of its title, and that's the movie Faces of Death.
Oh,
which is a blatant ripoff of the three movies that were, as a kid, we used to go to the video store and rent behind our parents' backs to watch people get executed and run over and everything else.
I think it's apropos that Tim is in the chat here, because this first time I saw this was in his dorm room.
I can see him playing this on loop. Like, I really could.
Tim, if you're still in here, yeah, thank you for showing me Faces of Death for the first time. So yeah, let's talk Faces of Death.
People getting, but this is the thing. Again, this is not the real Faces of Death. This is like
no, this is like an actual movie. It's not.
This is like Candyland. Yeah, it's like, because they're not going to have an actual person get electrocuted and
yeah.
I don't know. Be eating, like cutting a monkey's head off, and they're not doing all that here for this one.
Man, I don't know.
I can go first if you want.
Yeah, why don't you go first? Why don't you go first on this?
Look, I think the plane has already hit the tower at this point. I'm gonna go 5 million. That's how poor I think this is gonna do. I don't see this one doing very well.
I'm gonna go under that. I'll go 3.
You're gonna go under. This does not bode well. I'm telling you now. Go ahead. What's the number, Hayden?
Let's go 3.
Oof, okay.
I don't know. I just I did.
This it's comes funny. In at 4. I have to give it. I went over, so that's. I'm going to say that because 4, I got to give it to you.
I did see this popped up on my X feed at one point, and I was like, "Wait, what? Faces of Death?" And I saw it. I was like, "A movie?" And that was probably my reaction. I was like, "Why?" I don't know.
Because they're not original. They had to steal that. They could have said Shroud of Death. They could have, it could have been anything.
Yep.
Moniker of Death.
Right.
But no, we got to steal the title.
Let's just use the title.
Yes.
Nostalgia bait.
Here we go. The next one's up April 17th. Lee Cronin's The Mummy, which is not an actual mummy type kind of movie. It looks freaky though, this one, right?
It looks freaky. And I don't really know what to think of this thing. Because it's not right, like Mummy. I know if you ask somebody like in our generation, Mummy, we think Brendan Fraser, right?
Even the Tom Cruise one.
The Tom Cruise one, I don't even really think of, right? The first thing that comes to my head is Brendan Fraser. And
Boris Karloff, anything like that.
Well, the classic ones, yeah. But
Right.
this, I don't know. It's like a little girl.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
And
Like,
she's like returned to her parents after a certain amount of time away, and she's found in this sarcophagus.
yeah.
And all the other people who were in this thing have died, but her, and she's not quite well.
So
She's like possessed, right?
yeah. So have the trailers kind of really piqued your interest? Because they haven't for me.
I think it looks spooky enough. I just don't know why they went with the Mummy.
It looks creepy, and this is to the same thing as Faces. That maybe they could have named it something else, because the first thing, the association I make when hearing the Mummy is like what you just said, Boris Karloff, classic Mummy, Brendan Fraser Mummy, Tom Cruise Mummy, which was but not.
So why put the guy's name in there? Lee Cronin's. What? I mean, is this guy like a big horror guy? I'm like,
maybe it's because they're actually doing another Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Maybe there's like a rights thing. I don't know.
But again, you could have gone with something else. I feel
you could have. Yeah, you could have.
No, but
I don't know. I don't know.
Give me the number here, Hayden.
I'll give it to you. I'll go 11.
That's actually a pretty good number. Oh, geez. Do I think over or under here? 17th. Not a lot out in terms of horror. I think they got some more lovey-dovey stuff coming out. Devil Wears Prada is at the end of the month. I'm going to go. Basically, I'm going over, right? That's what I have to do. I'll go 13. And we have the last film here, Hayden. This one comes out April 22nd. So, again, this is like we're on the borderline of when we could be on the next.
Yeah.
So, this doesn't make the cut. And it's a big one.
Okay.
Michael.
This is the Michael Jackson biopic.
It is. Which,
oh man, yeah.
I watched the trailer for this during Project Hail Mary.
Oh, okay. I've not seen it.
And my daughter goes, "Is that the guy who does the moonwalk?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's him."
Oh, okay.
Look, I realized I showed her the Weird Al Yankovic videos.
Okay.
And I showed her Billie Jean. And I showed her, I showed her some of the good stuff. Not all of it, but anything after 1990, he was kind of like irrelevant. I feel like that's like him and Madonna. It's like 80s. They like after like That's a Prayer. That was it. It's like I'm gonna start off here. I'm gonna go. Whoa! What is that?
What's that?
I got some feedback. I'll go 40.
40. That's a good guess. Let's go. I'm gonna go 50.
All right.
I'm gonna go over. Watch it be 45, and I'll be like, "Damn it!" I don't know. Like, it's a hard one to call, but there's a lot of people in our generation that are going to be like, "Yeah, I'm going to check that out."
You got to realize he was a hero to a lot of people.
Yes.
I still have a hard time believing he had anything to do with that. I just think he was a weird guy.
Right.
Maybe I'm naive. I don't know. It doesn't mean I'd send my daughter over to go to a sleepaway camp at Neverland, but I have a hard time believing it. It's like, well, the guy's weird to begin. Like, I remember I was in Vegas and he was there shopping and they shut down the store for him. So,
wow.
I didn't see him. I know he was in the store.
Yeah. Wow.
But, I mean, the guy was fantastic. So those are the numbers, Hayden. That's all I have.
All right. There you have it. We will see in 2 weeks who retains or hands over the title. And thank you for listening to our Indiana Jones 45th anniversary review. We will be right back with funny and weird news. And in 2 weeks, we will be talking Office Space. So check it out. We're happy to chat about that. We are coming right back with funny and weird news. Thank you, guys.